mimer today is an interesting mimer, very strange on this week's Parsha. It's a unique mimer. We don't have it found in any place in Chassidut. That when Moshe took the Jews out of the Mitzrayim, the Torah says specifically Ben Shmonim Shana, he was 80 years old. However, if you recalculate the calculation, he wasn't yet 80. Why? Because he died at 120. At the date he became 120, on his birthday of Zayin Adar, he died. However, when he led the Jewish people for 40 years in the Midbar. So that means when the Jews left Egypt, which was the 15th of Sivan, which was, then he was 80. The 15th of Nisan, he was then 80, and his birthday was a month before that. So when he left Egypt, he was 80. And he led the Jews for 40 years, and he died at his 120th birthday. However, in this week's Parsha, it's a year before that, because the plagues took a duration of 10 months. Because from the first plague, each plague took a month. 3 weeks warning, 1 week plague. 3 weeks warning, 1 week plague. 3 weeks warning, 1 week plague. So the Torah says now that Moshe is 80, he wasn't yet 80. He was going into the 80th year. That means he was 79 going into the 80th. So the question is, why does the Torah say that he's 80 if he's not yet 80? He was only 80 a year later. And during the plagues, he was 79 going into his 80th. So that means that the reason the Torah says 80 is to teach us that there has to be, in order to take the Jews out of Egypt, you have to be 80. So there's something special in the number 80, that only with the number 80 you can take the Jews out of Egypt. So what's special with the number 80? And the answer is that the Tehillim in chapter 90, it says that the duration of a person's life is 70 years. Shivim shana. V'im b'gevura is shmainim shana. 70 years is your normal life. If God gives you strength, then you get 80 years. What's the difference? What's the reason you have 70 years of living? Because 70 years represents your 7 character traits. Every 10 years you have to refine another character trait. So once you refine all 7 character traits, so once you refine it, your life is done, because that's your whole purpose of being, is to refine your 7 character traits. So your life is 70 years. Every year is every 10 years, every decade is another character trait. When God gives someone 80 years, then that means he's going above his limitation already. He's Gevura means he has special strength, which is called Bina. Bina means he has already understanding, and he's out of his limitation and being defined to his 7th character. He's already an intellectual person that works with his mind above his character. Because number 8 represents a number that's above 7. It's above nature, above reality, and above the constant being of a human being. So therefore the Torah says that Moshe Rabbeinu, in order to be able to take the Jews out of their enslavement and change their character and change the way they lived, assimilated with the Egyptians, he had to first reach a level of 80, which means he had to be free of his character and be above it and be able to release the people out of theirs. So even though he wasn't yet 80, but he already reached the level of 80, because the fact that he was 79, going into his 80th year, he already finished refining his 7 character traits. So he reached number 80, which is above your character traits, above nature, and therefore he was able to now perform the miracles and able to take the Jews out of Egypt and go out of Egypt. What does it have to do with us today? With us is very simple. We were given a gift. Moshe Rabbeinu gave us the Torah. Our Torah is refined as number 80. It's above nature. It's above creation. It's above character. If we connect to the Torah, we're like 80, and we could get out of our limitations, our freedom, out of character traits, and be able to refine it and make a better person. So Hashem should help that not only we should reach 80 in spiritual levels, we should reach 80 in years, until 120 years, and we should be able to lead ourselves out of our exile, our own Egypt, take our Egypt out of us, and through that we'll be able to take all Jews out of the Egypt of the whole world and go to Yerushalayim and build the 3rd Beis HaMikdash from here to
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi.